Whoa, 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 stop. Don't scroll anymore. Stay right here. Grab your dollar store stuff. I'm going to prove to you that you can paint. It's easy. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is video number 2, the amateur paint-in. I'm hoping to paint a picture of boots. This will be my 3rd try. The first one I painted this one. The second one I painted this one. But the video got corrupted when I tried to transfer it over and edit it. And this one, I guess I forgot to hit record. So, try number 3. 3rd time lucky, I guess. So, what we're going to be doing is I got a used canvas here, dollar store canvas. It was used. I've painted over it with some white just to obscure anything that was on it before. I will go over the colors that we're going to be using. You don't have to use these exact same colors. You can use whatever colors you want, because boots, they sell boots in any other color. Whatever you want, whatever you've got. I will go over the colors. I have regular orange. I've got regular red. I've got yellow ochre, which is kind of like an orangey yellow. If you've got yellow and you've got orange, just mix a little bit together and you've got yellow ochre. I've got black, white. Let me start all over again. I've got orange. I've got cadmium red, which basically you can add a little bit of yellow to red to make that. Regular red, black, white, burnt sienna, yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is like mustard yellow. So it's yellow ochre and burnt umber. Burnt umber is dark brown. So here's the actual picture that we're going to do this from. And so right off the get-go, we're going to paint the background. Regular dollar store house paintbrush. That's what I'm using to paint the background. So like I said, you don't need any fancy equipment to do this. All you need is motivation. You don't need talent, because whatever happens on that canvas happens on that canvas. And if it turns out what you think is no good, you can paint over the canvas and start again. You can paint over the canvas and do next week's painting. But you never know. I'm figuring most of you are going to try this and realize that you're actually pretty good at painting. So let's begin. We'll start using we're going to use lots of water. And we're going to start with burnt umber, the dark brown. And we're just going to use lots of water to get that canvas thoroughly covered. And I'm not going to be fussy. I'm just going to put it all over. Might add a little bit of black. More burnt umber in the bottom here. Because in the bottom I expect is where the shadows are going to be. Bit more water. A bit of burnt sienna. Add some texture in there. Maybe a bit more water. Add some yellow ochre. Okra or ochre? Anybody know how to properly pronounce that? I don't. I'm the amateur. So we got our background done. And I'm not being real fussy with the background. You can also, if you don't like it, if you want, another nice technique that you can use, is tissues. Just dab it on there however you feel. There we go. That's better. I took some of the glare off. And you can add some texture with the tissues. You can also do some blending. Don't be afraid to try stuff. It all works. Everything works. So now that we've got that, freshen up our water. And let's begin with placing our boots. I think with the boots, we're going to start with the toes first. I think. Wet my brush. Get some burnt umber in there. I'm just going to roughly put them in here. And as boots get old and worn, they become slightly deformed. They still look like a boot, but they're deformed. You can tell a well-worn boot by the way it's shaped. Just going to fill it in roughly. And I'm not totally 100% following the picture. I'm going to do my own thing. Because like I said, the boots will lose their perfect shape from when you purchase them, the more you wear them. So get that in there. On my table, I have an old towel that I don't mind staining with paint. So if you've got that or some rags, old rags, that's perfect. So then I'm going to add a little bit of black to that. Go around the toes here. Maybe a bit more black. You also want to decide which direction the sun is coming, or the light. I'm thinking I'm going to make the light come from the left. So that means some of this is going to be in shadows. Now, whenever you're painting, if you need to let some part dry, that's all right. Just let it sit and dry, and then you can work it a little bit better. If you're using other kinds of paints that are thicker and you don't want them to dry quite so fast, if you want to keep them wet so they're more workable, there's this stuff called paint retarder, and it just slows down. It slows down how quickly it dries. I'm not using any of that, but I think already these boots are, I don't think this painting is going to take very long. So I'm going to use some yellow ochre. Get it in there. And this is where I think the light may be hitting. And then also we want to get in there with, we got to get the tongue of the boots established. Where is that tongue going to be? I think I'm going to add a little bit of cadmium red, which is that orangey red, not the yellowy orange. Add that to this burnt sienna and maybe make the tongue in there. Just the beginning of the tongue there. And don't forget the tongue will be partially behind the sides of the boot. Like here's my boot. The tongue is going to be partially behind unless it's splayed out. So we're going to work from that. Add a little bit more cadmium red to this burnt sienna. Hide that there. And just get it roughly done in, painted in. And then you can go in and fix it later. And add more details, find little bits of paint that add color. There we go. And I do know that the edge of the boot, the sides of the boot, they are going to overlap. Don't be afraid to use lots of paint. Once we get the boots mostly established, then I guess we will work on the shoelaces. But I think the shoelaces are pretty much going to be the last thing we work on. So this is the side of that boot. Bring this here. Make this boot a little bit bigger up there. Make it more tall. And then I think we'll fix that there. I think I gotta put a little accent around the top of the toe there. If you're ever not sure, just use a really wet brush and you can mop stuff away. Spread it around. And you are going to have shadows on the edges of the light areas. So you know the light's going to shine in, but there's still going to be a little bit of shadow going along here. I'll fix the edge of the boot here. And you can make your boots any old shape that you want. Put the shadow there because that's the back of the boot. And like I said, if you figured you put paint somewhere where you didn't want some paint, you can always scrub it away like this. And here you're probably going to see some body sticking out here. Body of the boot. Body of the boot. There's again the edge of the tongue, the shadow. I think we might blend that in a bit. Give it some. And I know. The corner of this boot. There we go. That's looking like. And have this boot folding over. Don't be shy. Use whatever paint you need, especially if it's dollar store paint, right? It's cheap enough. You can use lots. And you can use lots of water with your paints to add the shadows or add the highlights. And not every boot is going to look the same. This is like the third time I painted this picture, and already it's looking completely different. I'm just kind of winging it. Let's try a small brush here. Maybe get some lines in here. That way we can see. That's where the edge of the side of the boot is. Like I said, these are just dollar store paint brushes. They're actually pretty good though. They do the trick. They get the paint on the canvas or the paper or whatever you're going to do. I'm glad you've joined me here today. This is going to be great. It's going to turn out perfect. I have faith. I have faith in you. And anything that happens is allowed to happen. I'm not a Bob Ross. Not as good as Bob Ross. Let's see here. Let's see here. The edge of the tongue. It's a fairly big brush, but when you get the paint on it and flatten it out, it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. The gray in here. Maybe get some light in here. And some light in here. This side is going to be probably quite a bit darker because that's where the light is not going to be hitting it. So I'll do a little bit of black, a little bit of burnt umber, which is, again, the dark brown. Fill that in a little bit darker. There we go. I think this... There we go. That looks better. Better already. So they're on a different angle, so they're going to look different shapes. Add some shading in there. How's yours turning out so far? Pretty good, I hope. I'm sure it is. I'm positive it's turning out great. You're going to want to show it off to everybody when you're done. Go, look what I did. Just thin line there. You can always thin that out. Change your paint water somewhat frequently too. It'll help you have more control, unlike what I just did. Anything that doesn't look right, just keep working with it. Keep changing it. You can always change it back. That's the thing about painting. It's forgiving. The paints are forgiving. It's like when you're doing some art stuff. You got an eraser. This is kind of like having an eraser. I keep hearing my cat eating. Does your cat do nothing but eat and sleep? I swear she just eats and sleeps. That's it. Try that again. And, you know, I'm not really sure. I'm actually not really sure what the hell I'm doing. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. That's the main part. That's the main thing about this is just try whatever. Have fun. Get experimental with this paint. Let's see. I think probably need a little bit of shadow on the edge here where that tongue comes in. And maybe gonna use a lot of water here. A bit more yellow ochre. It's gonna be fairly rough. So I think what we can do, I'm going to change the water and get some clean water, and then let's see what happens with some shoelaces. let's get, yeah. Be right back. Okay, let's see here. I think I might want to just, sometimes I'll go like this to get the paintbrush smaller. And then just do the outlines like that. Just so I have little thin paintbrush. Unless you actually have really thin paintbrushes. I got some, but not really. White, we're going to use white paint for the shoelaces. The shoelaces will probably be dark, but just so we can see where they are, the placement, we're going to start them in white. And I'm going to use a flat brush. That way we can get it narrow. Now, across the bottom, you'd have that shoelace. It's there. You want to figure out how many links you've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So I'll go. And some people, myself included, when I'm doing a picture, sometimes when I'm drawing or when I'm painting, I will actually spin the picture around. If you're painting it flat on a table, sometimes drawing or painting the item upside down, you'll get a better perspective. On this easel, I can't do that, so I'm going to be disappearing every once in a while. And you go from where the lace left to the next spot. The next spot. And then up. And you know, when somebody pulls the shoelace loose, that's so they can get their foot in or out. So it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. The laces don't need to be perfectly straight. Especially if the boot's falling over to the side like this one. So we could have like that. And then up like this. Because this boot is really falling over to the side. This guy's really worn this boot. He needs new boots. He needs to retire these boots. the lace up there like that, and clean my brush. Get some more paint here. Okay, let's see here. We are going to take the lace from up here and just string it down. I'm going to take this one here. And this one, maybe we will over top of the boot here like that. That's a little thick, but we can narrow that up later on. And maybe from this one, we will go all the way from here. There. That's good. I'm going to add a little bit more orange and white to the tongue here, because that's where the light would be hitting it. Maybe we shall start recording again. So with this, with the shoelaces, it's definitely going to be darker in here now. So you can dab in a little bit more darkness. But how about we get on with the dark shoelaces? Because these are work boots. Nobody wears white shoelaces in work boots. I'll just darken them up. And if you need to, I'm almost thinking I need to let this dry a little bit. Good thing I didn't use that retarder stuff. I'll go here. And around here. Don't forget, we got to do all the rest of them. And then the white will literally become the highlights of the light hitting the shoelaces. And the shoelaces, like I said, don't have to be perfectly straight, because when you've yanked your boots off your feet, chances are there's shoelaces going all over the place. Especially in a pair of work boots. Using quite a bit of dark here, which is good. accidentally got a little bit too much there, but that's okay because I need to darken that part up anyways. I'll come over here. I think this is going there. Just dab. And this lace is coming around here. That one's coming up here. And then it crossed over here because somebody really used these boots quite a bit. And you don't have to have a ton of detail. A lot of it can be implied detail. Oh, it's in my hair. Eek. Oh well. Oh well. 'Tis what it is. Let's get a little bit of burnt umber in here. And some black. We're going to darken this. Maybe I'll use a smaller brush. Do-do-do-do. You don't have to completely darken it all, because there is going to be light shades coming through here. Here and here. I think we're gonna make that, fix that. Like I said, anything you think is a mistake is not a mistake. It's all fixable. You just need to be brave enough to make the mistakes. The things you think are mistakes are not. I need another small brush. How about this one? This one's good. Little dabble, do ya? Brill cream. There we go. I think we'll darken it up on this side of the lace. I don't think the light's going to hit it quite so much there. Add a little bit of black there. And black there. And black there. Solid. Solid. And yeah, I want to highlight that shoelace just a teeny bit right on that edge there, so that we know where it's going. Where it came from. There we go. That's better. And this one too. I think think I'll do that in a minute because I think it's just a little bit too wet. But I also want to fix the edge of this boot here, right in the corner here. And same here. Time to clean the water. Okay, here we are back again. These are looking pretty good. I'm liking these. I think I want to just use a bit of water, a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of black, maybe a little bit more water, and make that little. Go around like that. This is my flat brush. Gonna just dab it a little bit in the white. Maybe go around the edge here, just maybe around here. There we go. Where's my tissue? I'm going to dab this a little bit. And fix my shoelace a little bit here. There we go. This is looking pretty good. I'm happy with this. I am happy with this. There. Nice. Need to get a little bit of light on the subject for this because the light is coming from this side, so maybe we'll, there we go. And maybe a lot of water and a little bit of white. We can add some highlights to this side. You don't have to use too much. Very little. Then, I tried this the other day, dry brushing. Used a brand new dry brush. Not used with anything. And then you can dry brush it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it. I like it. Maybe we'll brush that off. Dry brush the boots. Make them look like them toes have kicked through a few piles of dirt in their lifetime. Dry brush a little yellow ochre in there. A little bit more black on the edges. And I think I will, I can't believe I got, oh, it's all over here. Oh, geez, Murphy. My bad. So I think we're just going to add a little bit of black and burnt umber, just a little tiny bit to this. Give it some color, make it look like it's not completely black. It actually was a brown boot. There we go. I'm liking these. I don't like the tongue though. The tongue needs more shadows. The tongue definitely needs more shadow, especially near the bottom of it. So like here, here. Maybe a little bit more black. Like I said, get experimental. Figure out what the paints do. Figure out what each brush does. Now, I think I'm going to dry brush this one back a bit. Maybe I will dry, oh, that's not a dry brush. That I'm going to have to let it dry a little bit. that. Brush this around. There we go. And we're going to have a little bit more light in there as well, because that's where the light's hitting it. Put that there. We'll dry brush that. There, put that a little bit here. I'm going to dry brush that. I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Add some more background. Don't worry, I didn't screw it up. Just gonna get my brush and we're gonna go over that. There we go. I'll retouch up my shoelace. Just a little bit. A little bit of texture on this shoelace. There we go. And maybe a bit more shadow coming in from this side here. Let's maybe brush it like it's going around. There we go. That's better. I like it. But I do think we need a bit more of an outline for the tongue. Don't forget this tongue is being, the visual of this tongue is being cut off by the edge of the boot. Let's get a bit more black here. I think some boots also have that boot strap thing where you can yank your boots on here. Yes, hook your finger in there and you can yank your boots up. Fix that. Add a little bit of white in there. A bit of white in there. And maybe a little extra dark here, because this is where the light is not getting it. Let's use this brush. There. I like it. I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. I absolutely like it. Pretty good. Now, we gotta just do one more thing with the shoelaces that I just noticed. And the more you look at stuff, the more you're gonna notice stuff. You're gonna, oh man, what did I do that? Don't worry about it. It's all good. There. Shoelace comes in from there. Now I gotta add some highlights because that's where this where the light's hitting. just a little bit of highlight. There. This is pretty damn good. So, and, oh, one last thing. Some people paint the edges of the canvas. That's good if you're not going to frame it. If you are going to frame it, you don't need to. But these edges of the canvas, I'm going to paint them. Because, quite frankly, I don't have enough money to frame stuff. So I'm just going to paint like this. Lots of water so I don't have to use much. Just kind of makes the painting look a little more finished than it otherwise would. A lot of times you would do that at the beginning, I'm assuming. But I didn't. But folks, that's why I'm the amateur painter. This, I'd say, is darn near done. And I only got a little bit of paint on me. Yay, me. You can blend the sides in if you want. Use a bunch of water. That way the sides kind of look like they're supposed to be like that. There. Pretty good. What do you think? Old grubby pair of boots. I think it turned out pretty good, considering I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. Thank you for joining me. Please join... Oh, nuts. Please join me next week, next Saturday. I'm going to be uploading a video every single Saturday. Please join me next Saturday. I'll be uploading a new video every Saturday. And I hope you paint along. These tongues look like they're bending in. I want them to bend out. Out. Look like they're bending in. I want them to bend out. Out. So I'm going to use Is that going to make it look bending out? Bending outy? Let's see what we've done here. Maybe a bit more shadow here in the middle will make it look like I've got it bending out more and less shadow on here. Am I screwing it up? Am I like thoroughly screwing this up? No, I'm not. I can't be. I can't be. I have about 20 brushes on the go here. Oh, that one's too messy. maybe I need more whiteness in the middle. And then more dry brushing maybe. Maybe a little highlight. Starting to choke here. A little highlight maybe. And maybe a little low light. That's not a low light, that's a highlight. I think that's good enough. I'm covered in paint. I think that's good enough. There. What do you think? I'm still not digging it. I'm not satisfied. See what happens? See what happens? So that one, this one has to go here, and this there. There. I give up. All good. Now I'm done. I quit. Next one, next Saturday. I promise it'll be better. But this is pretty good. Thanks for joining me. Oh, nuts. Now I'm going nuts. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell. This is a brand new channel. Every little bit of support that you give me is much appreciated. And I will see you next Saturday for the next amateur paint-in. Thank you.